Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. I'm excited to welcome Chef B to our program. He is the chef and owner behind NSFW Pastry in California. We're going to talk to Chef B not only about what is it that led him to start NSFW, but also what it's been like for him to share the experience, not just with the community, but also close to home with his own family. If you guys are just now finding out about the pantry and also Chef B, of course, we'll let you know how to find out how you can stay connected with them, as well as how you can benefit from the services they have to offer. Chef B, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
Look, I appreciate the time, man. So, I want to cover a lot with you here. First of all, I want to talk about the experience, because when I prepped for this segment initially, because you and I had a conversation for our radio station in my home state of Mississippi, we talked about what it's been like for you to do what you love when it comes to creating and to share it with all of us. I want to talk to you about that with our online audience. What has this experience been like for you, Chef, to be able to see the way that people are responding to NSFW?
It's honestly been a blessing, and it's honestly just been truly amazing. I didn't expect people to take to it so widely, right out the door. But just from starting out the gate, seeing how people loved it and that it could be used and transversed for all different types of celebrations, gatherings, and stuff like that, it really was an eye-opener for me.
Yeah. Well, I think, the thing is, and you and I talked about this, that NSFW stands for Not Safe for Work. So we're going to get into what makes it not safe for work here in a moment, Chef. But as I said, you not only have been able to start this brand, but really start a movement, because you're not only, creating a business for yourself and your family, you're giving back along the way. Is that something you automatically knew you wanted to do when you started the business?
Yeah, definitely was a main factor for my business, was giving back. I think we all go through different struggles. We all have different battles within ourselves and, outside throughout the world, especially look what's going on now today. And any way that you can give back, I feel is a factor in if you're able to become successful. You want to definitely give back. Me and my daughter and my family like to do that by feeding the homeless. I mean, of course, as of now, lately, that's kind of been pressed back a little bit due to COVID and just restrictions. But, we feel like in giving back to the homeless, and I do certain events for people, for free and stuff like that and everything, just to help out and, spread, food is to the soul. So you want to spread that through the community and remind people, of that, this is here to comfort and help people, of course.
Right. So take us back then. How did this all begin?
So honestly, this began right around the time my daughter was born, back in about 2013. I used to live in North Hollywood, and I had one of my friends. He would always come over to my house and drink and go to the bars in the neighborhood. So my house was kind of the touchdown basis. And for me at the time, I was working a 9-to-5 job, so I had a lot of stress going on. I was a corporate trainer. I was training 30 people a day, different personalities, trying to install systems into people. So I was baking all the time. What ended up happening was every time my friend came over, he would leave liquor at my house, because he would go to the bars or whatnot. And one day when I was baking, because I used to bake for therapy, just kind of it was my hobby. It was my thing to kind of cool off at the end of the day or whatnot. One day there just happened to be one of those big, gallons of liquor that he left at my house sitting on the counter. And I was already good at baking, and I just kind of wanted a challenge. I was like, I wonder what happens if I put some alcohol, in here. Lo and behold, I did a batch for my boss who was leaving the company that I worked for at the time. I did some spiced cupcakes, but I actually infused them with Jameson. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to give these to my boss because, he liked to drink, and Jameson was his favorite drink. And it was funny. I got to work. He was not there. He had already left. He didn't even want to say bye to nobody. He was gone. So my coworkers at the time, divided it up and took them home. The next day they came back and was like, where can I get those cupcakes? Like, how did you do it? You know, where can I get them and everything like that. And hence, that's how NSFW started. So NSFW stands for Not Safe for Work, which was funny because the fact that everybody in my office was my first set of customers and people that liked it, the name came about because it was like, this isn't safe for work. You know, this technically has alcohol in it. But the fact that that was my biggest crowd base when I first started, that's how the name came about.
Wow. And now here we are. What a great story. Now I want to go back and touch on a couple of things because you mentioned, of course, also your daughter, and she's also kind of been stealing the show from you, Chef B, in some of these interviews you've been doing via Zoom. I've been seeing her literally front and center, right? I mean, what has it been like for you to not only, of course, to have her watching Dad build this, but also to be along the journey with you?
You know what? It's the greatest feeling in the world. And it's like I tell everybody, I don't force her to do anything. Like, this is her. If she finds out I have an interview and she's here, don't let it be. No, she's gonna be front and center. She will personally sit on me. She'll be mortified at the camera at first because she's kind of like, "What do I do?" And she's waiting for somebody to ask her directly some stuff.
Right.
But once she gets into it, she loves it. And honestly, it's a blessing because, you know, a lot of people talk about giving your kids what you do not have, but also teaching your kids what you didn't know, or teaching them what you know now early, so that way they have an advantage. And her being, you know, just, she's only 6, and just, she dives into it. Like, I don't ask, I don't force. She knows I'm about to start doing orders. She's like, I'm coming to help Daddy. And literally, She grabs her stool. She starts, you know, asking me, what can I do? She starts putting her gloves on. She's like, what am I doing? Am I mixing batter? Am I cracking eggs? Am I measuring oil? Like, what am I doing, Daddy? Like I was telling people, like, she's gotten pretty good. She's up to the point where she's doing everything but putting it in the oven. Like, she don't want to deal with no heat, no flame. She don't want to get burned or nothing like that. That's basically where she comes, because after that I have to start doing the alcohol parts, and that's when she's usually going and playing and taking the non-alcoholic cupcakes and cookies as she can, you know, sliding them off like, these are mine, thank you, I'll take this as payment.
Right.
She knows if she works, she's supposed to get paid somehow, so it's funny, but she takes it all in. You know, for a 6-year-old to really be taking it all in, you know, because they mimic you, they mock you. And even just at times when she plays, I'll be sitting here on the couch working on some new recipes or something, and she'll come up to me and be like, Daddy, my restaurant's open, you know, I want to take your order. And she has, like, her little play food and stuff like that and everything. So you really see it transpire, and just teaching them the values. She sees what hard work is about. She knows everything's a process. She sees the good and the bad day, you know. So she knows it's an up and down thing. But just instilling that in her and knowing that I'm giving her that advantage. And this is something for her in the future. Like I tell everybody, like, yes, this is in my name and everything, but in the future, this is for her. So she has, even if it's the littlest still at the time, you know, she has a basis for something she can work off of.
I think that's the thing, and I'm sure a lot of parents really appreciate that as an example as to what they can do as well, Chef. I want to say, for those who are just tuning in, is on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. Chef B is joining us from NSFW Pastry. We're talking with him not only about the genesis for the business, but also what it's been like for him to see the response first at work, and now, of course, throughout the community, also giving back along the way. You mentioned something in passing there, Chef, when it came to your daughter, about the non-alcoholic options. We discussed that for the radio side of our program before. Talk to us about that. So
yes.
As you mentioned, you have the alcohol, the products that have alcohol, but talk to us about the variety.
So that's our niche. That's what kind of made me stand out, because, you know, I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of great companies out here that do cupcakes, some that are more design oriented than me and stuff like that. So my goal was flavor and finding a niche. Now, of course, having a kid, my kid likes cupcakes and treats, of course. So we do have non-alcoholic. I mean, when I bake everything, there's no alcohol baked into it or anything like that. It's a process afterwards that I use that infuses everything to it. So a lot of people, like, if they contact us and be like, yo, I like what these cupcakes look like, I like what the flavor is, can I get them with non-alcohol? Yes, we definitely do offer that. It's not as broadcasted, you know, being as our niche is our main thing that a lot of people look for. But sure. I've done baby showers where it's like 50-50. And I do
Oh,
different
wow.
designs, on it, so that way people know, okay, these are for the adults, these are for the kids. One
Right.
frosting will be rigid, one frosting will be smooth, so that way they know. And even with our containers, we have certain methods, so that way you know as well. Honestly, that's where Malia kind of steps in because she loves making cupcakes and cookies, especially brownies now is her new thing because she finally learned it. So she's like really excited about those. And then we're looking to expanding into, I know on my end, we're doing food. That's the next big step that we're going to be stepping into. But Malia will also be doing her own little side thing with food. She just learned her grandma's fried chicken recipe. So, like, she's done it twice now. So I'm like, okay, I'm confident in your abilities to handle that now. So she wants to do her own little menu for the kids. I'll have my side for the adults. She'll have her side for the kids. That way, the business kind of grows as she can learn. I mean, if she wants to continue with food and this progresses into something bigger, perfect. If not, and this is just something she's into now because she's young and following daddy, by all means, it's more experience for her.
Right, right. So we have to talk about then audience and demographic then because you've mentioned, of course, your clients. So for our audience that's out there listening to us now, Chef, talk to us about the area that you now service currently.
And so currently, I personally reside in the Santa Clarita area. However, my biggest crowd base is based out of L.A. I also have a huge crowd base in the Valley. And being that I just moved to Santa Clarita, I'm getting to know everybody and people finding out what I'm doing. So that's another area I serve. I do specialty drops sometimes in Orange County and other places. And the biggest question that everybody has been asking me lately is about shipping. Shipping is coming. We recently finished developing the cake jars, which are in mason jars, which help preserve the lifespan of the actual treats.
Right.
We just finished testing the lifespan. Now we are doing the final phase, which is testing the shipping. These are mason glass jars. I want to see, pricing as far as shipping due to weights and stuff like that, and we're working on different size jars. So the test runs are going to be starting in Seattle. I'm going to be sending my friend some stuff. She's going to be helping me out with that. I do have people in Texas. I do have people in New York. I do have people in Miami. I have people around a lot of different places that have been bugging me to get it out in some way. Even yesterday, talking to some TV people and stuff like that, they wanted it in Atlanta and some other places. So I say give it about a month and a half, and I will be able to get it out. I'll be sending you something out there in Mississippi and everything. We see a little package that says NSFW and be like, wait a minute, is this what I think it is? I definitely want, to be able to populate out. It's just a process. And even then right now, it's a lot of factors because I know people in the game that have been doing shipping, that do waffles and do all types of stuff. And with coronavirus and how the post office is working and FedEx and timing, I want to make sure it's cost effective for people. So you can still enjoy it, but it's not breaking anybody's pockets, especially in this time.
Right. So a couple of things you mentioned there on the business side I want to dive into because I think there's some great lessons in here, Chef B, that I want our audience to get because I'm always encouraging people to have their own, to do their own thing, to be able to branch out, right, to step out on faith. But you also do have to be practical. You have to be responsible. You have to count the cost, as it were. So I want to talk about that aspect for you. What is it that gives you the patience? Because I think for a lot of us business owners, right, we just want to touch everybody. We want to do everything. So what has helped you to learn the importance of just being thoughtful and being practical as you are expanding the brand?
For me, and I'm glad you asked that question because I get this question a lot. Like you said, the key word is patience, and I'm not gonna lie, patience was the worst thing for me in the beginning. And I kind of broke this down yesterday in one of the interviews I had. I started this business in an office with 1,000 people. Every payday Friday, I was easily clearing out, $500-$600, like nothing, selling out treats. And this was at a discounted rate at the time because this was in the beginning, I really didn't know what I was doing fully. I was just saw it as a little side hustle. Going from that and then leaving corporate America to have more time with my daughter and stuff like that and moving into a different setting, where I'm not in a set place anymore. So now I got to go out and get I got to go out and get orders or go to places. So what was I doing? I was going out to events. I was networking with people. I was getting, invites to little events, little celebrity events, stuff like that, friends' parties. Still doing good, but not like I'm used to, but understanding the work level. Then you have COVID hit, and it's now like, okay, everything has to be off of social media. You can't do that face-to-face. I'm not in open-air markets like I can be. And, those, I don't look at it as failures. I look at it as lessons. Take in from your lessons. The lessons will teach you patience if you try to rush. And key rule number one, nothing fast is good. If it can be made fast, it can be demolished even quicker. That's how I kind of look at things. So that's the one thing I tell my customers have with me is patience. I've been working on food now for the longest. People have been dying for some of these plates to come out. But I don't want to put out, a half product. I want to put out perfection to an extent. I want you to enjoy what I give out and everything like that. Even in my processing with my food, it takes time. So my main thing is telling people, have that patience and don't look at your failures as failures. If you let that get you down, you let that hold you back, you're not going to move forward. Learn the lesson out of it. What could you have done better, or what is that one fault that you did not acknowledge, so that way moving forward you don't have these issues again?
Well, I tell you, it is something for us to think about as we're kind of looking to go forward. One of the things I definitely want to get into this online conversation, Chef, because we talked about it on the radio side, and I like the way my audience responded to it. Of course, endorsements, that's a big deal. You and I talked about that for our radio program. If you had to put together your dream list of celebrities or influencers you could reach with NSFW, give us a couple of who would be on that list.
Number one would be Shannon Sharp. He's kind of the embodiment of NSFW to me in a way, just the way he's very outspoken, but yet he still holds, a certain pristine and clean demeanor and look and stuff like that. And he's just comical. That's kind of how, I am. I'm very, comical, but very straightforward. People know me for that. I would have to say other people I would love to reach out to. Growing up, I was very fascinated with Mark Cuban, him and the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. That was always somebody that always had my attention, especially as a businessman. I read his book growing up, talking about how he used to, sleep on a mattress in a room with three guys, driving a bucket, and how he went through a lot, but, he overcame some things. I think everybody says this, but it's kind of just second-handed nature. It would be Jay-Z would be my third one. I read a lot about him growing up and just how his mindset in business, ethic is, and the way he kind of attacks things. That would definitely be somebody I would be open to, taking information from. And honestly, the fourth person, and people will probably be surprised with this, but maybe not, you need to have different perspectives and things that may not go with yours. You need people that are going to think against it, but also, understand things. I would want somebody like Michelle Obama to be in a business.
Oh, wow.
With me. She's smart. She gives you a fresh, crisp aspect to look at things. She's widely loved by everybody, she's highly respected. She's going to be kind of like that motherly look to kind of look in and be like, you didn't think about this, you didn't think about that, you didn't think about that. That's that. And then I tell everybody my fifth person, it still has to, and to this day, would have to be my mother. My mother is, bachelor's, master's degrees. She knows all about business and marketing. She's worked in corporate America for years in multiple companies. And even to this day, there's stuff that I'll overlook because not using patience or rushing, trying to get something done. She is like that. Eavesdropping in, eavesdropping in on my convos like that. But I know nobody has love for you like your mother, because they want to see you succeed, right, but also do it the right way. So that's my five, right there. I think that would give me a wide look, because I believe you got to have different aspects and different inlooks in. So you got everything from technology, music, politics, law, business. You have all those outlets that'll make you stronger in any way.
There you go. Well, I tell you, what a great list. And, I know a lot of great things are coming your way, Chef, so we're excited to see. Again, everyone, Chef B has been our guest of NSFW Pantry. Chef, how can they stay connected with you and kind of keep up with what's going on with the pantry?
So I always tell people our website, first and foremost, NSFW Pantry, NSFWPantry.com. I'll be updating it throughout this week. I'm going to actually be opening up the site to full-on orders, and we'll have drops doing bi-weekly. We may kick back up to weekly based upon, how it's coming in. I know times are rough for people, but we're going to see if we can work out some new package deals for people. And then if you want to see me most lively and the most content for me at the time, follow me at NSFW Pantry on Instagram. I'm still getting used to Twitter. I'm not really the social media guru. That's what I'm learning and reading about now. But, Instagram, you see the most videos. You'll see the most, current content, where I'll be speaking at. And even you'll see, Little Chef. You'll see her taking over occasionally and stuff like that. It connects to my direct page, too, and it'll be connecting to her page, which we'll be creating as well, too. So they'll be able to follow us from those platforms.
Awesome. But first of all, make sure you guys are visiting the website, nsfwpantry.com. Make sure you guys stay connected with them there. Chef, again, congratulations to you, man. Really enjoyed this time, and looking forward to having you back on the program again, man.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Look forward to speaking with you again in the future, and look forward to getting you a shipment out there in due time, brother.
All right, definitely looking forward to that as well. The non-alcoholic one or a mixture, whatever you want to send. Well, I would definitely look forward to that. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Let's make today amazing. Take care.